Sorry, I popped myself. That stupid noise I just made. The red light is on, and after a much needed break, we are back once again to celebrate our favorite seasons of the year. No, I'm not talking about Christmas. No, I'm not talking about New Year's or any other holiday. We are talking about WrestleMania season, and we got our good brother D. DMV, D in the building. Damaris Dye from Dye Sporting Network. He's going to join us because he has come to hang out with the good brothers so we can celebrate a little bit. So guess what? Sit back, relax. We have a lot to get into. Not to mention Mercedes Moné apparently hasn't shown up in AEW. We're going to thank Sting for all that he's done and get into exactly how this main event of WrestleMania, night one and night two, is going to go down. Listen, you don't want to miss this. Go to the bathroom, grab yourself a snack, something to drink, because guess what? The next 35 and a half seconds, we about to get into it. Let's go.
Houston, we have a problem. Yes!
Wait for it. Welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, you can watch all of our Wrestling Wrealm content anytime on youtube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm. Follow us on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Threads, X, Facebook at Wrestling Wrealm. Like, subscribe, and engage in the conversation with us as well. You can download all of our audio content on Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And you can watch and subscribe to our Twitch channel at The Wrestling Wrealm. I'm firing through it today. I'm your host, the big fella, the big dog, not to be confused with Roman Reigns, the realness himself, the real Dwayne Allen. It's WrestleMania season, so you got to put some razzle dazzle on it. He is your host, the smoothest man in the building, has the third brother Hugh himself, H to the A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R, to the D, brother Hugh, championship culture super producer in the building. He is your host, not just any guy, but he is the belt king. He is Brandon, the guy, fresh off championship culture. And we'll get into that in a second. In the building. And we have a very, very, very special guest with us. Where's he at? DSN, Damaris Dye. Dye Sporting Network has in the building with the Wrestling Wrealm to celebrate WrestleMania season. And last but not least, our heart and soul of the Wrestling Wrealm. The man who single-handedly, nope, we're not going to say that, but he still is a heel. Hollywood. Brian H. Waters in the building. He knows exactly why he's a heel. Welcome to the Wrestling Wrealm Now podcast. See how smooth that was? I got through that like really, really fast. That's how you know it's Wrestling Wrealm season. No, I'm telling you, like we're there. I'm hyped, man, especially for tonight's show. But listen, we have a lot to talk about, so we're going to jump right into it. So for all your Wrestling Wrealm apparel, you said who already? Who?
Dylan. Yeah, I feel like he said new intro, and I feel like that means Dylan been out a while. So I want to send him all the love.
Of course, Dylan. Welcome all the way from Australia. It's 21 hours on the product right now. We firing. But guess what? Since that many people are looking and those are coming in, thank you for everybody showing up into the chat. Please come on in. The door's open and bring your opinions. But until then, if you would like to shop for all Wrestling Wrealm apparel and merchandise, head over to WrestlingWrealm.com for all t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. And if that's not enough for you, we have some bonus material at patreon.com/the_wrestling_realm. So for all exclusive shows and bonus material, that is where you can find it. You can subscribe for just as low as $1. Yes, $1. We have many things on there. We have many things that come, including Brian H. Just Thoughts. Soon to come, Realness Reacts. And guess what? Maybe a hidden blooper reel from a few years ago. But if you want to get eyes on what I just discussed, it is all exclusive. And yes, patreon.com/the_wrestling_realm for all exclusive shows and bonus material. Now, speaking of bonus material, we are in full effect for WrestleMania season. And ladies and gentlemen, it is not too late to get your tickets. The Wrestling Wrealm has partnered with SeatGeek, and guess what? They're giving us our own promo code. So we, of the people, can help you all save yourself a few dollars as you try to get your last-minute tickets to WrestleMania. Not over. And listen, maybe even WWE World. That's going to be going down too as well. Yeah, so do yourself a favor. Get $20 off your WrestleMania tickets. Use promo code Wrestling Wrealm. Save yourself $20 for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. And guess what? If you use your one purchase once already, sign up with a different email, courtesy of Brian Nates. That's right, SeatGeek.com, promo code Wrestling Wrealm. All one word. Save yourself $20 on any one-time purchase of $50 or more, especially for this WrestleMania season. Now, with that being said, if you would like to advertise with the Wrestling Wrealm, come be partners with us. You can email us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com with the subject line saying advertise, and we will reach out to you with further details. So if you want to partner with us, you want to promote your show, you want to promote whatever you have going on, and you're a good fit, holla at your boys. Email us at wrestlingrealm@gmail.com with the subject line advertise. Now, listen, if you don't know anything about advertising, I'm about to advertise to you the latest and greatest show that comes on every Tuesday, 8 p.m. on our youtube.com/the Wrestling Wrealm channel, playlist Championship Culture. Boom. Because every belt has a story. Had to put a little movie voice on it. Season 2 of Championship Culture is completely underway, and they are rocking and rolling. And they had a very, very, very special guest on their show yesterday. But guess what? Because we have Brandon the Guy, because we have the super producer, Brother Hugh, I'm going to let these brothers tell you all who may have missed it exactly what yesterday's episode of Championship Culture Season 2 was all about. Gentlemen?
Well, seeing as though he's covering his face, I guess I'll go first. So yesterday, we are one episode away from concluding our NXT series. Or are we? That's all I'm going to say. It was NXT Volume 6. And in order to do this one justice, if you paid attention to any of the other episodes of the NXT volumes that we have been doing, this one landed on a very unique belt that debuted. Well, I'm not going to give you the whole backstory. I want you to go watch the episode so you can get some fun facts about the belt. But in order to do this belt justice, we had to call in an expert. And because it's Women's History Month, and because she's an expert on women's wrestling, we had Cienda, who is Cienda. I've heard of? Yeah, is she? No, no.
I'm gonna have to look her up.
People who she is. Should we show who she is?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
So, I know her.
Don't do her like that. It's one of my favorite people.
She is one of the most unique subject matter experts when it comes to, what happens next. Hint, hint. If you tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m., she does her own show where she dives into like a preview show for NXT. She's been part of those Wrestling Girls, Jobber Tier, any podcasting that's happened in the last few years, she has been a part of. She has her own foundation. You name it, she's done it. And she did us a lot of justice by giving us her time to delve into this subject of the version 2 of the Women's Championship. So if you get a chance, please go over to youtube.com/the Wrestling Wrealm and check out the playlist under Championship Culture, where you will see the latest episode and get some very good insights. And, the question keeps coming up. But we're going to save that for another time about this mid-card women's belt. It seems like whenever you talk about women's championships, we keep hearing about this women's belt. So kind of dug a little bit into that, down a little bit, talked about how this belt created some of the stars that we're enjoying now and how good the belt looks. But let me turn it over to you. What did I forget?
Oh, you pretty much hit everything on. You got everything, man. To be honest.
Are you ready for the notes?
I don't have much to say. That's all I'm.
What are you saying? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean notes? Why are you assuming that I have notes? Why are you assuming that I have notes?
I'm not assuming. I'm just saying we're ready for the notes.
Are you sure?
We're ready.
Says there's always notes. Brownie, first of all, Brownie, do you see the eyes on the product right now, buddy? Brownie must have retweeted twice. Well, season 2 Championship Culture. Yes, you guys had one of my favorite people on the show, Cienda. Yes. She's an amazing talent, and I think she is like you said, an expert in so many unique subjects. She does an excellent job of breaking things down. But if you claim that I have notes, you got dang right, I've got notes. Yeah, Brownie, he hates when I do this. Right, all the way. Delicious sound effects. The delicious sound effects. All right, I'll keep this short and sweet because we have a heavy subject and there are a lot of people that are bringing their opinions to the show tonight. If you are missing this right now by the sound of my voice, I'm telling you, please get into the chat now. Anyway, season 2 championship culture. You guys, volume 6 NXT. Man, this is we're winding down. We're finally getting through this, but I got a few notes from yesterday's show. Usually when I can't make the show live, I can't disrupt it. I got to take my notes to get to be a part of the show. Let me just jump into it right now. One of the things I disagreed with Cien Doll when she said she didn't understand why they put the NXT championship on a Charlotte. And I said, I get where she's coming from, but I've noticed there's something that WWE does, especially right now with the women's division, is that we are known, we're used to wrestlers putting over other wrestlers, helping building new stars, things of that nature. But there's something else that they also have been doing recently as well. And that's putting over championships, right? Sometimes when certain level of talent holds a championship, it makes it important. It adds prestige to it. And I felt like during that time, especially during a difficult period during the pandemic, it was something that the NXT Women's Championship needed. I loved it. It's because the fact that Charlotte Flair treated that title like, no, I want this. I'm like, that's Charlotte Flair. She's a 30-time women's champion as it is, and she wants that title. I said, "Oh yeah, that's a big deal. That's like putting the young girls on notice." Not to mention, she got a chance to work with Natalia. You know what I mean? When she kind of got her feet, like there's got to be that elder stateswoman to come in and add prestige to titles, and I felt like that's something that was the reason why they did it. Move my notes. Let me see. Hold on. I'm looking around. Let me see. Championship culture. Okay, I agree with Cien Doll. She made a controversial comment. She kept making comments like, I don't want to bury myself right here by saying this. And I was like, she's going to say something spicy. I can feel it.
Oh, you see, I was taking it on. Like, come on, bring it up.
And Brandon's always asking this question about this women's mid-card title. Now, traditionally, you can only say so much about the women without being labeled as sexist or misogynistic. But she said something. I was like, okay, I can say it now because a woman actually said it. She said that she does not prefer a mid-card women's title is because it would go underappreciated. And I said, thank you, Cien Doll, for finally saying it. And I get her point. It's no point of creating a title for the sake of women if it's not going to be in a situation where it's going to be treated like anything of prestige, of importance, right? We begged for years, we want women's tag titles, and then we got women's tag titles, and everybody's like, oh, it's no point in having them now. It's no point in having them because they're just switching them out and putting them in. And that may be true. That may be true. But the reality is we ask for it and it takes time to build. And if you don't have the talent to fill those shoes and you're not going to book them and put them in places of importance, then hey, it's no point in bringing it in. So I was like, thank you. Since the lady said it, I have permission to say it now too. So yeah, that's it. And one last thing before we move on, because tonight's show is loaded. Top 5 NXT women superstars of all time. And everybody knows this list, but particular order. Bayley, 1. Sasha Banks, 2. Becky Lynch, 3. Charlotte Flair, 4. And Asuka, 5. So it's just full horsewomen and Asuka. And I'm gonna tell you why. These women, it says it right here on my notes right here. It says these women made me a fan of women's wrestling, right? Particularly, I was not a big fan of women's wrestling. Like, not like, oh, I like if you're a superstar, you're a superstar. It doesn't matter, right? Men or women, and that's how I look at my wrestlers. It's not like, okay, well, I have to like women because if I don't, I'm going to say, yeah, you just don't like women. No, it's not that at all. But watching them develop, I watched them all from like indie darlings to unknowns to becoming superstars, and I was like, okay, they're some of my favorite wrestlers, not women's wrestlers, just favorite wrestlers. So that's exactly why I said that those are my top 5 NXT, and I feel like these are the ones that kind of put it on the map. Like their NXT careers were bigger than some main roster careers. So, ladies and gentlemen,
swap out one.
Who you swap out, Brian H?
Becky Lynch.
For who?
Shayna Baszler.
No, okay, you're talking about Becky in NXT, not Becky that we have now.
Now, see,
that makes sense.
You remember the phony out shit Becky Lynch used to wear, Brian H, when she was in NXT?
The leopard
with the little vest, whatever it was.
The last kicker.
Yeah, sure.
The last kicker
before she got all steampunked.
Yeah.
I looked at her and I was like, "Who's the girl in the red hair? She can wrestle." Like, I promise you, and that's literally all I remember was I was like, "Yo, she can really wrestle." I said, "She can go," and that's when I, kind of found it out.
Yeah, and I like foundation, absolutely. But if I'm just
what is going on? A lot of people are still like piling in right now. Sorry, Brian H. It's throwing me off.
Oh, yeah, that's what it do. But if if I'm just thinking overall, I like all of those, but I would just take her out just because her main roster career so super exceeded, and obviously she didn't wear the gold down there, which was okay, but she had to kind of come find herself. But man, Shayna Baszler's run, she was just like untouchable, unstoppable. Like I would have loved to see Shayna Baszler versus like Miko Satomura or that version of Asuka.
Okay, so now you digging the deep cups. You asked for problems right there. That's a very violence. You're asking for a lot of violence, and I'm not sure what network they were on at the time, but who knows? But ladies and gentlemen, that is my.
Hold on. I got a
my.
question for you.
Go ahead,
From
question
notes.
for me.
Well,
from the
first,
notes. Hold on. I was about to ball them up. Let me pull them back.
549 days for Shayna Baszler. So I would have to agree with him that switching Becky out for that. But for the non-championship culture guys that was didn't come in the comments, I posed a question. Marcus in the comments now actually answered this question as well. Mm-hmm. Without AEW, do we have that main event between Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley?
Without AEW, I think so. It's because we had Sasha Banks versus Bayley
at a pay-per-view, not on a regular TV show.
I think that's how much I think of that match. Hold on. When I saw that match, to me, I was like, okay, they're setting the standard for where they're going. And that's, to me, the meaning of breaking barriers when it comes to women's wrestling. Because women have not historically been allowed to work to that degree. Mm-hmm. Wow. First of all, Brandon, the guy's got straw, his drink sounded like a whole whistle. He ordered out of a comic book magazine in 1962. I just want to put that out.
I'm putting it away. We don't hear it anymore.
No. I listen to me. I don't mind sound effects. Like I'm the listen to me. I'm the king of sound effects. It doesn't bother me none. So, but I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I'm sorry. I had to put it out there. But yeah. I don't think AEW had anything to do with it. But I just think that WWE was the ones to do it first, specifically NXT. So yeah. That's just my 2 cents on it all. That's what happens when I miss the show. But guess what? If you do miss the show, you can go to youtube.com/the Wrestling Wrealm playlist championship culture, where you can catch up on not just this episode, but all the episodes previously of season 2, and go back and just do yourself a favor and watch all of season 1. Right. So
you might as
you might as well. You might as well. So every Tuesday, 8 p.m. championship culture. Whoo, man, that is a lot. Brian H., ring the goddamn bell. Ladies and gentlemen, the bell is ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the bell has now ring. And the Wrestling Wrealm podcast meat and potatoes of the show will now begin. We are going to I was just about to bring D into the man. He's having all these technical difficulties. I got to get it together, man. But good brothers, we have a lot to talk about tonight, and for those that are watching, I'm telling you right now, we're going to talk about Cody Rhodes slapping the Rock. You heard that, Brian Ace? 5 fingers to the face, slapping the Rock. The stipulation, there it is. I told you the sound effects are on fire. The stipulation for WrestleMania, because this is ridiculous. I've never seen WrestleMania book like a goddamn movie. It's throwing me off.
A new day and age, baby.
It's throwing me all the way off. And we have to get to a few things. We talked about Mercedes Moné showing up tonight in AEW. You know, it was big money. This has been promoted for a while. Brian H is dancing. Him and my goddaughter had a chance to watch it. That is her favorite wrestler, in case you didn't know. But
1 of 4.
1 of 4. Yeah, 1 of 4, obviously. But man, such a monumental moment. It's something that I think we kind of all knew what was coming, right? But are you guys excited to see Mercedes Moné in AEW?
I mean, did you see her? Did you see how she looked? She looked good.
Her hair. She did.
You know, the gear. My daughter said, "Why does she look like she wearing a tennis shoe?" I was like, "That's just how the strings fall." But I'm excited. I think this is going to be best for her brand right now. There's a certain show I'm waiting for, and I believe it may have been delayed, but I'm hoping it's not denied for the sake of my ears and my selfish reasons, because I've been waiting
Preacher now, you talking delayed, not denied.
and waiting
Right.
for this show. And this topic was going to be: is there more money in Mercedes Moné?
Oh shoot,
Sasha Banks,
bro, that was the first. That was supposed to be the original first episode of
Yes.
Listen, I was listening like, what are you
Yes,
talking
yep.
about? And I was like, wait a minute,
Yep.
that was supposed to be the first episode of Realness Reacts.
Realness Reacts, man. And I've been having this popcorn just sitting in the bag waiting.
Bro,
be
she got
popped.
hurt. She got hurt.
I
was
know.
Like, it's not timely now. Now it's like, oh shoot, now I got to go back to it.
So now I'm interested, because now the conversation, it's time to have it. We're going to see if it's sink or swim.
You
Now-
like stirring the pot. You trying to get me jammed up. You like me to do all controversial stuff.
You started it.
I did, but I didn't think
you
that
threw out
is
this thumbnail. But here's the thing.
Mhm.
I had an epiphany watching this tonight.
Okay.
Because remember, I said I didn't want her to go there. I did a whole rant. I wanted her
You,
back at
you were
WWE.
very against it, Mercedes Moné going to AEW. True.
It took me back to 1994 when Hulk Hogan went to WCW. And I parallel a lot of my daughter's moments, because you can see when you watching wrestling through a children's eyes, it takes you back to the innocence you once had.
Sure, of
So,
course.
like, for instance, I don't know if y'all been watching WWE rivalries, right?
Mhm.
I
But
gotta catch up. Have not been watching this new season, to be honest with
Macho
Yeah,
Man versus Jake the Snake.
you.
That
Yeah.
was my first wrestling heartbreak. Because
Really?
it's like, yeah, it was scary. Well, technically, like, that was a part of it, and then him obviously losing in the ring. The first wrestling heartbreak was him losing the title to Flair. So I'm watching that, and I was like, okay, my daughter's first heartbreak was when Sasha couldn't be at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch comes back; she's still holding a grudge against Becky Lynch for that. But tonight, I said, this is the moment that I had when Hogan joined WCW. I watched it because it was wrestling, but then I got invested, and I say that to say Mercedes, we've seen there's a whole laundry list of people who flopped. Or maybe if you don't want to use the word flop, didn't give us the expectations, didn't go to the top. If she does this, she can be a very pivotal part for that company. It feels different there. You talk about her being there, you talk about the Rainmaker, Okada. It feels different. You know, new production, new writers. Now when to see the change. You know, if you get a chance, check out, it's a long book, but Guy Evans wrote a book called Nitro. And if you
Yes,
get a
Eric
chance,
Mitchell talks about that a lot.
yeah, that's what made me check it out. And
Is it
he wrote
audiobook?
oh yeah, 19
Okay, good.
hours.
Oh, that's that. I need that for drives.
That's a good like a month or two. But shout out to Queen PR and Ciendo. You mentioned Ciendo because both of them spoke highly of this book. And you learn about that pivotal moment in 94, 95 when Hogan joined the company, and then would take a little dip, but then the NWO, and then so I'm interested to see, can Mercedes do that?
Okay. Well, I think we all are. What about you, brothers? Brother Guy, Brother Hugh, Brother D, are you straight now? You good, brother?
Hey, man, I had to switch to the phone, man. Something was up with the laptop and the Wi-Fi, but we're back in business, baby.
Okay, man.
back in business.
I was trying to go to you because you're our guest. I was trying to be polite, man, but you know how we had to keep it rolling. We was having technical difficulties, but
Yeah,
I just want.
damn you, StreamYard.
Okay, listen, man. How do you feel about Mercedes Moné showing up in AEW, man? Does it make a difference? Brian H just gave a whole diatribe, and I think Brian H has hope. It's because my beautiful goddaughter is excited about it, and kids don't usually like AEW, even if they see their favorites. Because Adam was no parts of age in AEW. He wasn't trying. He was like, bro, I'm not feeling this. I don't know who like Adam Copeland is. Yeah, like he wasn't with it. But now Brian is like, wait a minute now, like Ariana's excitement got him excited. Are you feeling the same way about Mercedes Moné and AEW right now?
DMVD got to tell you right now, I'm down with Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever she want to call herself. But until Tony Khan, man, shows that he can get people over in the AEW that's outside of it from the get-go, DMVD don't see it, baby. We don't see it. That's not for you. Not for you, brother.
He just gave him the Dusty.
Hold on,
give him the Dusty, man. Because I mean, let's be honest. Tony Storm is doing a good job, but they shouldn't put Miss Monet right at the top. You see what happened to Diana Perazzo now. I mean, she lost to her. Now she got to come back down the ladder. Once you start up top, either you stay up top or you drop down. It's just
no,
the
baby,
way.
that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
and you
right.
referring and you referring to the AEW women's product, particularly when you say that?
In general, yeah, man, it's been tough. You know, you got what you call is dating somebody now. Ruby Riott, you know, that's what I mean. I always call her that. She's dating somebody in the lower clung of the AEW men's end. One of them former tag team guys is with Jericho or whatever. I mean, they don't got many good women storylines, man, outside of the main event. That's what they got to get together. Hopefully, Miss Monet can get it done. Hopefully.
Speaking of dates, D.
Yeah.
Dwayne, I gotta ask him. Did you see your boy Trick Williams, man?
Hey now.
Listen,
that's right.
Let
me imitate Booker T right quick. Shuck it, crack.
You know the crazy part is I was going to put that on the rundown for tonight's show, but I knew it was going to be like super loaded, so I'm going to say that. I'm not even going to get into that, man. But brother guy, you are a connoisseur of women's wrestling. How do you feel about Mercedes Moné showing up in AEW? Is this really going to make a difference?
I'm trying to hope for the best because it is Mercedes, but Tony Khan has proven time and time again, you come in off of fanfare, oh great, they're here, and then a month later you're like, okay, what happens? This presentation of her tonight to me was a little boring. She looked like $1 million, but how she was presented was just like 1999 car pull up. Oh, go to the crowd, cut to the crowd, let's wait. Here she is with some music, WWE machine type of thing, CEO for the chant. She was sucking it all in, drinking it all in because she deserves this moment. But what did she really say? I'm here.
Drink it in, man.
Yeah, she was like, I'm here. I'm happy. I love Eddie Guerrero. Y'all know this.
I'm getting paid.
Yeah, that's what she really was saying.
I'm the CEO of All Elite. And it's like, okay.
Tony Khan agreed to that fat contract I asked for.
Yeah,
right.
I'm getting paid. So, but he has this track record where we're so excited as a fan that they are there. And then I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna laugh when I say this. Look at Adam Copeland.
Shoot, the list goes on. The only one that lasted longer and kept their buzz was Sting, and Sting's been.
But that's because he's an icon. No matter what he does, people want to see him. And I really hope, like when she showed up in New Japan, I was so happy for her. You know what I mean? Because I was like, this is her chance to get out and prove what she was trying to do in WWE and show them, hey, look, let me bet on me. Let me show you what I can do. Take me seriously. You know what I mean? And now it seems like she's got a blank book. Let me say this. She has a blank coloring book, and now she's filling in the spots. She's picking up. She's going to use a marker or a paint or anything like that.
She has a blank check.
Yeah, she has a blank canvas.
That's what that is.
Yeah. And I just hope, and I want to bookmark this day that comes SummerSlam, and I'm just using WWE, we're still excited about her. And not just...
Don't hold your breath, buddy.
And that's what I'm so scared about because she, like we have Deanna, and just like D said, she came in, I was like, oh. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, her career is over. And look what happened. She lost the title shot, and it's like, you're still trying to make her relevant. It's like, but we got a new shiny toy. You know what happens at AEW.
That's
when
exactly
we get a new
what I was
toy,
about to say.
the old toy goes to the bottom of the basket. It gets thrown into the toy box.
Great debuts in AEW. Great debuts. All great. Brother. They just can never sustain it, brother. You got a comment? You clear? Because I can tell that comment he made kind of tickled your fancy a little bit. That's what.
Hey man, I was waiting for him to finish, but that was exactly what I was going to say. That was the first thing I was going to say. I have a shiny new toy now, guys. Hey, come check it in. AEW, you know what I'm saying? Big eyeball. You know what I'm saying? But look,
Tony.
Hey, I hope
on the show.
Hey, it is what it is.
I have a big announcement that I'm going to make next week on Twitter for the announcement for next Saturday for Collision show.
We got another big announcement coming. We got another big announcement. Another big one next week.
Bro.
Big announcement.
Brian H.
And the announcement is going to be that I have an announcement next Wednesday.
Brian H., you guys, this is your fault. Now, this is you pissed him off because. Wait a minute. No, it's not. Are you guys getting the email? Because it just came in. Tony Khan just sent a comment on what you guys said.
Oh my God.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Now back to our show.
I hope you guys are happy.
Hey, what was he looking for?
Right now, he playing with Mercedes and telling her how great he is, but she is. But he got his peoples on that. Like, nah, I gotta get to those guys. They talking about me.
I'm just saying. Let's see what happens in summer. Look at Will Ospreay. He got 3 new toys: Will Ospreay, Okada, and Monet.
Right.
Guys, I got something to mention. You know, Brandon made a good point here. Mm-hmm. It does. So Takeshita and Ospreay had this great match at Revolution, right? Mm-hmm. But what was the purpose of the match? It didn't get Ospreay as a babyface over. They're in the same group, correct? Still, right? Is that correct? So how if you're the heel manager, you want to see 2 of your guys go at it? That would cause dissension in your own group. It makes 0 sense. It makes no sense.
Think about it. The Blackpool Combat Club did the same thing.
Oh no, rinse and repeat. Come on, AEW.
That's what it was. Like, think about it. I didn't know. I wanted to see that, and I was like, "Oh, that was kind of neat." Because remember, Will Guido got jumped into it, and then Bryan Daniels and Mox was fighting, and that's what Wrestling Wrealm came and slapped him and said, "Y'all stop it, y'all are brothers. Get yourself together. Now we're a group."
Oh, nah,
don't get me started on Jack Daniels Moxley. Don't get me started on him.
But you
get me started on Jack Daniels.
Danielson and Shane Taylor cooked the other day.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
I feel bad for Danielson
here.
Was it good though? Was it really good? Because they ain't been doing Shane Taylor right.
No, they haven't. But
they haven't. I mean, to me, I know I'm about to say something that's going to hurt Brian here, but Danielson's, let's just say his impact in AEW has lessened, and he's become a main event jobber now.
Let me tell you,
and that should be John Moxley's job.
You must have missed a couple episodes, but Danielson kind of fell down.
Yeah.
No, cut it out. Nope, see, we're not doing that. Anyway,
he fell down the rankings.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
No, Brian's right, man. And it hurts, man, because Danielson still got something left in the tank.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, it was Daniel Bryan. It was all about Daniel Bryan. I'm not gonna be out here saying, "Oh, he's a big Bryan Danielson fan since he was in ROH," and making up promotions. We know people that do that very well, making up wrestling promotions that they was fans of that never really existed. Check out the Patreon. But yeah.
Catfishing promotions, huh? Catfishing promotions, huh?
Listen. There's a lot of that, and it's okay. But let's talk about. It's something we missed. We took a break last week, and we didn't get a chance to talk about something that AEW did do right, and that is Sting, the Icon, finally retiring from wrestling. I think because he might be on some Terry Funk type stuff. Shout out to Brother Hugh with all these sexy graphics. Hold on, let me put this. This was good too. Look at that. This is great. Brother Hugh, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Hugh, ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to Brother Hugh, sexy.
Brother Hugh, ladies and gentlemen. The man who single-handedly, I might say, got Dolph Ziggler to go back to wearing the white boots. Look at the white boots. Brother Hugh. So yeah, shout out to Brother Hugh.
The one that said he was going to win the belt.
He definitely said
he did. He called it. He called it, man.
And he definitely gave us a spoiler because he was like, I guess that makes sense. So once again, like I said, Brother Hugh is the man. Thank you. Because I just checked Impact. He still got the white boots on, brother. So thank you.
Yes, sir. He does.
So Sting finally retires from AEW. AEW, I was leery about him. Like, what's he gonna do on AEW? He definitely went during the pandemic. He showed up with gray hair. Thank God he dyed his hair back just for man. You can sponsor our show if you want to, just for man, by the way, wrestling@gmail.com. Sorry. But he finally retires, and an amazing career. We don't have time to go into it, but we all grew up on Sting. Sting's been in every promotion. I mean, Brother Brandon, Brother Brian H. Hollywood, you guys have met Sting. Brother Hugh, have you met Sting?
Yes, I have.
I'm sorry, Brother Hugh, too. You guys, did you? Because I remember you guys went to the baseball event that they put on.
I met him at Starcast.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Okay. When'd you go to Starcast? When'd you go to Starcast?
That was when AEW first started, when he came to Boston.
Holy crap. Where was that at?
Holy crap! Said
That was at
Connie.
Parkland.
Oh shoot! I
Yep.
forgot just that fast.
Remember he
Man.
met Cody. Cody was
Yep.
gonna make the
Met
segment.
Cody.
Oh,
Shot
Did you
Yep.
go?
You don't take enough
I'm
pictures.
snapping pics of Moxley and Rio and
You
Great Muta.
did. I'm
Yep.
sorry. You know what?
That's all
God
good.
dang it! But listen, we want to just definitely give AEW a shout out. I have a few friends. I have a couple of brothers that can help us wrap up how we feel about Sting. Just to give a special thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we send Sting off with a thank you in only a way that the Wrestling Wrealm can, full of shenanigans. So we just want to say thank you, Sting, and just sit with us as we have this quick minute tribute, a quick thank you to the icon Sting.
Thank you. For the joy you have given us, we thank you.
So
Yeah!
this is
We do
that
not own the
wrestling
rights to
stuff.
that music.
This that wrestling stuff that you want to do and you want to have an internship for, you want to make a career out of.
Oh
and,
my gosh,
man! Stuff.
I think we need to go find Miss and
yeah,
Mr.
and
and,
Mr.
like throw it in their face.
Listen, we putting on some quality entertainment right here. That was, I mean, do you guys agree? Wasn't that the best way we could possibly thank Sting for what
I
he's
think
done?
Sting would love
We
it.
do not own the rights to that music.
Oh
Please
man,
don't strike us.
We do not.
As long as you ain't put Sting, the musician, up, I think we was good.
Please,
But y'all do
thank you,
realize Hugh has every one of those shirts that was in that video, right?
Yes,
I didn't know that, but that's good to know. It's a nice little tidbit because I told you that one. This one is my favorite. I'd say this is the best Sting logo I've ever seen. This one right here. That's dope. That's like, come on now. Yeah. That's it. Like if you ask me what Sting shirt I'm gonna get, it's this one. Like I know the Scorpion and all that kind of stuff, but yeah. Thank you, Sting, for you said who?
Then the bell got a ring, but that whole look, that whole package,
I mean, he did.
That's for me post WCW. That's the best one.
Sting definitely had like one good match in AEW. That's when he came out his shirt, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." And then after that, he just said, "Forget it." He started wearing khakis and t-shirts and flight jackets, and said, "Just forget it." Darby, do what you got to do. Sting's supposed to move off a table. He got hit anyway. Like, you 63 years old, man. You're supposed to move. Anyway, we don't have time.
Darby, jump on some glass. Why don't you?
He's got to stop. He's like on some Jeff Hardy type stuff. Jeff Hardy's like he's outdoing Jeff Hardy. But listen, something else in AEW happened, and we got to get to it because tonight we have to talk about the stipulation for freaking WrestleMania. That's why we brought Brother D down here to celebrate us this WrestleMania season. We got to get to the bottom of this. But until then, we have one more thing to address in AEW.
Money, more problem. More money, no problem.
Did you like that? You like that T-shirt she has? Anyways. Gentlemen, this is a segment called Good for Business, Bad for Business. Each week we pick a topic and we discuss, is this good for business and bad for business? If it's good for business, is it good for who? If it's bad for business, is it bad for who? And guess what? Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, has shown up in AEW. And not only has he shown up in AEW, this brother has joined the Elite. D, we're going to start with you. You're our guest, man. Like I said, the last time you were on our show, man, it was kind of somber. Rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. So we're going to use manners, and you had technical difficulties earlier, but man, good for business, bad for business. Okada chooses AEW and joins the Elite over WWE. Is this good for business or bad for business? Talk to the people, DMVD.
You know, Brother Dwayne, it's good for Okada's business, but it's bad the way AEW has started off with him. Just because the fact that him being in an empty arena, him being with whatever the young bucks want to be now, I don't get it. You should have did this when Punk was still around. It would have made more sense.
What do you mean? They are heel executives.
The Rock is doing it better and been a consecutive less.
Oh shoot, I didn't realize it was the same thing. Crap.
It's like, come on, man. It's like, come on, man. I mean, I want to see Okada do well. I'm glad he's got the money. He's going to still be able to go back and forth to Japan, do his thing. But I don't know. It's good for his business, but it's bad right now for AEW business unless they get it together. And nobody wanted to see the Whack Man page anyway. And we hope Kenny Omega do feel a lot better. We miss him. I will admit, I miss him and MJF badly. I miss both of them. Please come back. Because without y'all, this show stinks without y'all for the most part. It's not a good show without them two guys on. And I can't believe I'm saying that because Olivier at times is up and down. But I miss him too. I miss him and I miss MJF.
Oh, you know it's bad. Everybody that you don't like, you miss.
Right. Yeah, I love MJF. I've always loved him. But I miss Omega. I do. I miss him.
Brother, this is good for business or bad for his. Katsuko Okada chooses AEW over WWE. And not only that, he joins the Elite, teams up with the Bucks, the heel executives. This is good for business or bad for business, brother?
I think it's good for business for the simple fact that we get a different Okada. We get the heel Okada.
There you go. Okay, I like this. You got my attention, brother.
We haven't had him in years. Has it been years? Yeah, years.
Not in like character form.
Yeah, right. But as far as him teaming up with the Elite, I don't like it.
Favorite tag team? You say you do. Yeah,
I do not like it.
Tell us why you don't like it. I want to hear this. Why don't you like? I don't get the Young Bucks heel executive Elite faction.
I just don't get the Young Bucks. I don't think they're as great as everybody say they are.
You got a guy with you today, and I'm not talking just the guy. I'm talking about brother you. So you're saying you don't get the Young Bucks. Now, are we talking about this particular gimmick just in general?
In general.
Okay, speak on it. I want to hear this. I don't think I've ever heard you say this. Brian H hates him. We know that already. He's always hating him.
Even I'm curious too.
How old are they?
They're around our age.
They're 27,
right? Yeah. And they're
27.
Are they?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
No, they're around our age.
But they're still the Young Bucks, though. But they're still the Young Bucks. I don't get it.
Wow.
But no, overall, I don't get that gimmick. I just don't get it. I can't relate to it. Like, I've seen it before. Their move sets they literally come out and they do 3 moves. Super kick.
They're slowing down now.
Like, come on now. Like, do something different.
Wow.
Like
34 and 39.
They look like the Team Move Hardy Boys from back in the day.
That's the first thing I thought about when I first saw them. I said, why did you just like the Hardy Boys from Shotgun Saturday Night era?
Yeah, there it is.
So you've
the only thing I like about them is their tennis shoe collection. I'll leave it like that.
Well, from a former shoe guy and shoe executive.
They do got some good looking shoes. I got
right?
Nah, brother, he used to stay tooted and booted, buddy. Like he was, like I said, if it wasn't for that camera, he was
right.
Listen, I had no idea you felt this way about the Young Bucks, brother Hugh. This is breaking news to me. The Brian H. Brian H. is loud and proud and hates him. He doesn't care. You've never expressed this before.
I'm just tired of him, bro.
Okay, so you're not feeling the whole. I'm not trying to convince you, and we got to move on. I want Brandon to say his 2 cents on it, but it's like they're doing
Brandon
something.
About to go off.
They're the heel executives. People said they're tired of being a heel. Like these guys shouldn't be in charge and executive, and that's what they do now. They got these chocolate milk mustache things across their lips, and like they come out with like
it's drawn on there.
I feel bad for them because every time they come out with a new action figure, when they change their look again. So like they about to get new action figures when they was wearing the Jordans and the funky outfits, and now they healed. Anyways, I don't need to ramble. Brother guy,
guys, before you go, Brandon, with them, I see every time I see them in that gimmick, I said, "Damn, y'all pissed millions away. You could have had CM Punk and had this angle. You pissed millions away." That's what I see.
You know what's tripping me about DMVD, bro? I feel like everything he says now, he's saying it in Dusty Rhodes' voice. Like he can't wait to make it to the main event of the show so we can talk about Cody. He's like, this is what it's about, man, daddy. You guys go to have millions of dollars there. You see,
you had millions and you pissed it away. You pissed it down the drain, daddy. Pissed it down the drain.
You pissed it down the drain, daddy. Brother guy, Good for business, bad for business. I forgot we was about to talk about. I'm trying to
Oh
concentrate
my gosh,
because the
bro.
main event of tonight's show is going to be ridiculous. I'm telling you, we, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, if you're watching, we previewed it through a group text, and we were like, nope, we got to hold back. You're gonna have fun with this one, but good for business, bad for business. Brother Brandon, Coach Cool, signing with AEW, joining the elite, said no thanks WWE, not right now. What's going on? Good for business, bad for business.
I'm going to say it's bad for business. And this is
Ooh,
why
why
it's
is
bad.
that?
First off, I want AEW to get to the point where somebody can be by themselves.
No, that's not
Everybody doesn't
happening.
need to
You
be
know
in a
it.
tag team or faction.
You know it.
You
He always
had
says that.
arguably one of the best, and we can argue top 5, top 10. He's in the category of one of the best wrestlers in the world, right?
Yep.
We
Yeah,
can all
facts,
agree
of course.
upon that.
No doubt.
And you put him with arguably one of the best tag teams in the world. It doesn't always fit. And to give him this gimmick, that's not who he is. Okada is a global superstar that should have went to the global company, but he went to the wrestling company. AEW is not a global company. That's why he's going to be Switchblade. We don't even care who Jay White is right now.
Oh, come
He
on.
do
That's
that,
below
man?
the belt. It's not fair.
He's
All right.
going to get Switchblade because he's a global superstar that
That's
did
not
not
fair.
go to the global company. And that's what I'm saying. And you're trying to force this heel down our throat. The crowd is not letting it. They're still cheering because they're excited that this
Yeah, he's
superstar
there.
is here now.
He's definitely the ultimate babyface. I don't know why they're trying this, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I'm
it's
just
there.
going to say is if he would have went to WWE where there's a global company and
Sure.
not the wrestling company, because AEW arguably has the best wrestlers in the world. They have probably the majority of the top 10 best wrestlers currently. You know, they have probably easily more than half of them. Let's just call it what it is, right? But
Right.
they don't have the platform to showcase them. And it's not going to be how many times they're going to go overseas or do something. Or I guarantee you, the second they have a Japan show, Okada's going to be on the cover. Unlike in WWE, he could have been on the cover on 6 or 10 of them. He could have been plastered everywhere. But that's why I say it's bad for good for his pockets. If that number is true,
Big time.
that's
Big
great
time.
for his pockets.
Yes.
You know, him and his family is
The
going to be
money.
taken care of.
He
for
wasn't
the
lying
next-
when he said about being a rainmaker.
Yeah.
Hey.
And if that's true, more power to I don't blame him. That was the good part for him.
Same thing with Mercedes. What about you, Brian H?
Oh,
Good for
hey,
business.
straight
What
up.
you about to say, brother? You?
I was about to say the same thing. Same thing with Mercedes, man. Like,
Yeah, you know they got
taking
fat
money.
checks because she was
Absolutely.
going back and forth in negotiations. She was going to say who's going to budge. If somebody does budge, well, shoot, I might as well just ride the contract out. Get as much because it's a short. It's like football. It's a short window career, right? Where it's like you got to make as much money while you can. Doesn't matter where it's at. You got to make this a business. Make the money while you can, and you can have fun later because you know you're financially set.
Yep.
But Brian H, good for business, bad for business. Kachko. I keep saying it over and over again. Kachko.
Rainmaker.
It's good for business.
Good
and
for
I
business.
wouldn't have
Why is
said
that?
this when this happened, but when I saw the debut, I said, I didn't see that coming.
You're doing a lot of AEW believing lately, buddy.
Yeah.
He drinking, smoking the hopium, huh?
If I was gonna smoke the Hopium D, you think I would do it during WrestleMania season?
That's a terrible time. By
Think about that. Look, like I'm always I get called the WWE show 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, so it's just you get used to it.
That's a lot of goddamn WWE, by the way.
Yo, you should Reddit's a funny place.
Oh, see, that's where everybody starts giving their comments.
Wow. Battle the discords. But nah, like the thing is though, what made me, when I saw him come out there, he was with the Bucks. I said, okay, I'm not gonna get what I was expecting. Comes out there, we got Okada, set him up, dream match. The fact that this man's wearing a suit, I like these young bucks because guess what? I'm not supposed to like them, and because I'm not supposed to like them, they're doing exactly. They're just playing right into it.
Okay,
now,
V
kind of messed my head up when he said we said earlier, like we got a better version. I mean, you got somebody who's born in this business, his blood breathes this business.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes, y'all. Here he goes.
You can't.
You not in the bloodline, Brian H. So you
no,
just,
but D, I'm saying D said it. He
D
said
did
it
say it though. You're right.
Like,
I wasn't thinking about it.
So, you know, I'm looking at it like, you know, Dang, man. I just don't. I can't fault him. I wish he would have went to WWE, and that time was still come home. But
Right.
considering they're giving me something different than what I thought I was going to get, that's what makes me happy.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, good for business, bad for business. Okay, look at this. Let's go over a comment. There you go. Let's go to the chat. From Four Sides of the Ring, it says Okada might be the ticket to sealing a streaming deal for AEW, which would be good for
Ooh.
business. That's a good way of looking at it. See, we get a little business
Smart.
involved.
That's a different way. Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
like that stuff.
that's a good way of looking at it. But I'm a fan of Kazuchika Okada, and
The Rainmaker.
the Rainmaker.
There you go.
I'm happy. It's like you got to say it all together.
Yeah, nobody
happy
says
to
the
see him.
voices like you, Dwayne.
No, listen, I watched a lot of Japanese wrestling in 2015, 16, and 17. It was a lot. And I watched it like Japanese dub, not the Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino version. But and I studied a little bit of Japanese.
Speaking of Kevin Kelly.
Oh, see, nope, not going there.
Nope.
This is wrestling. We're gonna keep it happy.
He
He definitely got fired. Right. This is wrestling.
He gone. He gone.
If he shows up at NXT, you guys know why. Anyways, good for business, bad for business. I think it's good for business. For Okada's business. Like I said, I think he's going to to me, AEW is like a try run. Let me get in front of the stateside audience and get the American audience familiar with me. And then, when I'm ready to jump ship, they'll be familiar with me a little bit more. So it's like a stepping stone. Sometimes going from Japan to straight to WWE is different. Now, it has been successfully done. If you look at all the Japanese superstars that are superstars now in WWE that were different superstars in the land of the rising sun. Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, Io Shirai. Do I keep going? Kairi Sane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm waiting to see what happens. I didn't see him joining the Elite. That was awkward for me. But I was like, oh wow, so we're doing this anyway. But
how do you feel though? Like, because you've been following it and you actually like the Bucks.
So you put me on a hot seat, okay?
Yeah, you thought you was just gonna come up in here and just you might be driving the car. But you're gonna have to
setting me up right now.
Get out and get gas too.
Brian H has his notepad and he's I told you he wants me to say all these controversial things so he can this I'm posted to social. Yes, I'm posted it. Like, oh, that's clipping out. Would you say? Hold on. Let me see what time it is.
Yeah. I'm
gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give you what you want, Brian H. I am very
give me what I want.
Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
I'm very disappointed. It's because I didn't even get the Rainmaker presentation, right? It shows me with him, Jay White. I get it. Okay, you make an exception for him. All right, I don't get the same version of Jay White. They tried it didn't land all the way correctly, right? Because he didn't really have that spectacular of a career, as he was just kind of left over. You know what I mean? Like he was the guy that was left over. You know what I mean? I love Jay White. But he didn't make the same impact as AJ Styles and Kenny Omega. Like when it's your turn, you take it and then you take it to the next level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because think about it, when AJ Styles was the man, Kenny Omega was just part of the group. He was the best of the Super Juniors. AJ Styles goes, Doc and Carl Anderson go. Who's next? He took it up and he took it to the next level. Like he became a megastar because he was the last one. Kenny Omega leaves. Now it's Jay White's turn. And it's like it didn't have the same impact. And I love Jay White. He's one of my favorites. To this day, even how he's booked in AEW, he's still one of my favorites. So it's like, okay, now Okada is different. He was the guy.
Yeah,
he was the up next. He was what Seth Rollins was supposed to become before he got that knee injury because they were on the same trajectory, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had Tanahashi was his vet. Okada was the guy, and Shinsuke. So you had Okada was the new young guy that they said we're going him. He was the John Cena, and then you had Okada, you had Shinsuke. And you had Tanahashi on either side of him, and then you had everybody else that fell in between. Katsuya Shibata. You had what's his name from the Golden Lovers? He was in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, Kota Ibushi.
Yes, Kota Ibushi. Excuse me. And then you had Tetsuya Naito. Like those guys were those guys under him coming up next, and then everybody else was kind of filling that gap. So when he came in, he's just like, okay, cool, Rainmaker moment. But then he joins the Elite. I'm like, all right, I get it. But it's like you're telling me that what he did in Japan is not good enough. See, when Shinsuke showed up in NXT, he was Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then when he got to the main roster, he was kind of dumbed down because of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. We're not afraid of you anymore.
Goddamn, pal.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And we didn't get the full, like, I feel like now we're just getting the full presentation of an evolved Shinsuke Nakamura, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of staying true to who he is, embracing his Japanese heritage. And he's a legend. He is a legend. Like, he's a Japanese folklore when it comes to professional wrestling. And we didn't get that from Okada. So, like, he showed up in AEW, and I'm like, I was expecting to see this big, elaborate robe. I expected golden money to fall from the sky. Everything to be like, wow, this is a huge deal. So even if you don't know who he is, you're going to say to yourself, who is this guy coming out with all this pomp and circumstance? This big, beautiful robe, these gold chains around his neck, this gold money flying everywhere. And you're like, well, who is this? And I feel like we didn't get that. So you wanted it, Brown H, you goddamn got it. I was very disappointed in his debut, but because he's that goddamn good, I am open to see what he does next. So it's like, okay, I respect you enough. Let's see what you got.
Yep.
So
I know we gotta move on. Do you think
Mhm.
that? Do you think by the time there's another free agency for him, his star power be watered down, or do you think he can still that they won't water his star power down? That should he choose to go to WWE, he'd be a big deal.
I don't think it's going to matter at that point, because if you look at who the AEW fan base is, it's the diehards, right? So they're not going to be like, oh, we don't like you now because you're in WWE now. Like, you know, they're like, no, I'm a wrestling fan. And then if you liked Okada before AEW, you're not going to like him after AEW. You know what I mean? Not like him.
I'm saying,
You know,
like ticket price, like WWE price, like would they want him?
Well, see, that it depends. See, like Cody Rhodes was already an established brand, right?
Right.
It was a story that was kind of already written. It was like, your whole lineage, we own it, you know, because we own WCW, we own WWE, we own everything that your father was attached to. Even you were here before. It potentially may, but it really depends on how much Triple H believes in him and the vision of making him something. Think about what I'm saying to you, right? Look at The Undertaker, right? He wasn't The Undertaker when he was in WCW. Look at Kevin Nash, Diesel. He wasn't Diesel when he was in WCW. Look at Diamond Stud. Look at Oz. You know what I mean? That was even worse. Look at, you know what I mean? Look at Stunning Steve Austin. Look at Terror Rising. These guys weren't superstars where they were previously, and look what they became afterwards. So it really just depends on who's at the top of the card. So you look at what Vince McMahon used to do in creating new stars, where he took new guys and he just gave them these gimmicks and these characters, versus it's Triple H's turn now, right?
Yeah.
I can see where I can, okay, if I had this, I could show you what I could do with this. And Okada's, I think he's too globally known, and because of the way the WWE is expanding, especially into Japan, they're not gonna have a problem digging up his prestige. See, WWE used to try to erase people's past and try to rebuild it so they can claim it and keep it copywritten. WWE's now telling you, oh, this guy's a former this champion and a former that champion. Like they're taking a global
in his
wrestling
bag.
approach. Like big time.
And Dwayne, to your point, look at Sean Spears, man. He came back in NXT. He's not doing the 10 thing no more.
He came back as Sean Spears. He came back as the chairman, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't think they were going to do it, but it's like, you know, it's a Shawn Michaels thing. It's like guys like him. It makes sense for him to work with younger vet. It makes no sense for him to try to come to the main roster and make an impact. At this point, he's a teacher. Like he was, you know, when he wasn't working, he was holding class. Let's be real. He knows what his next job is going to be, and I say that confidently because of what Bobby Roode has recently said. Right? Bobby Roode was like, "Well, this is always the main goal. Like I knew my career was winding down. I just wanted to have one last good run, make as much money, but this was always the goal." There's no doubt in my mind that Sean Spears is not in the same thick of that. You think he's not at the Performance Center with them same people he's about to get in the ring with, working with those guys? And because it's in a smaller setting, like AEW was at first, that gimmick will work. You know what I mean? That's smart. That audience is diehard. They're familiar with who he is. They knew what show he was on, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense. You know, especially now with NXT, like we're not just gonna have young people working with young people. We gotta have these older guys working with these young folks just so they can learn.
Gotta have some vets. Gotta have some vets.
So yeah, I hope I answered your question. You know,
yes, sir.
Look at Dylan Mathis. Here we go. Okada's first match was on a pre-taped collision and not the main event. Let that sink in. Oh boy, Dylan Matthews always comes in with very sobering facts about what we watch. And as DMVD was saying, smoking the hopium. Trust me, that's
smoking the hopium.
that joint went right completely out. Because now it's like,
Wow.
no, I have no faith in this situation. But I'm
Wow.
happy
In
to
front
see
of
him.
an empty arena. In front of empty arena on the
Yeah, I
free
didn't
ticket.
realize that. Oof. No,
Wow.
but it's anyway. Listen,
Jam.
yeah, we got to move on to the main event of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. We have a lot of eyes on the product right now. Thank you for everybody in the chat right now. WrestleMania, is it 40? Was it again 41?
Wow. 40, man.
40.
Tripping,
The big
bro.
XL.
Nah, man, they got me tripping the way they keep trying to book this goddamn show. We're going to do a WrestleMania preview show. There's so much to unpack before we get to that point, but we have got to discuss what in the world is going on with these WrestleMania main events. Now, we talked about this last week, D. I'm not sure if you watched this. A couple weeks ago, we kept saying, what are they going to do for these night 1 and night 2? It was simple. It was a boxing card. You had wrestlers, you had matches, you had some stories attached to these matches. Go home, ladies and gentlemen. This is the greatest show on earth. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey.
Yep.
We're seeing a different approach to this year's WrestleMania. Obviously, they turned this into a goddamn movie. You have one of the biggest Hollywood stars in the world that's front and center with his main man Triple H, and these guys are like, Brian H said the Bloodline storyline was dead a couple of weeks ago. I'm calling you out because you think Brian H was called nephew by Rikishi about 5 or 6, 7, 8 years ago. He's like, man, listen, man, you guys are Lola for Walla Malelo. You know, they was spoken to someone said, my nephews, man, whatever you need, it's all good. And Brian H, he think he been in the Bloodline ever since. That's why, if you notice, he's never not been an Usos or a fan of Lance everybody else.
Right.
Because he's been low-key been kind of like family. I ain't gonna hold you. Like this, listen, I could say it because I was there.
I rooted against Lance one time, but that was because we was expanding, and we got Jay Bougie on board. So,
well, see, he was trying to get somebody else over, so that makes sense.
Yeah, he did.
Brian H really feel like he's been in the Bloodline all this time, though. So now he was the one that said this Bloodline storyline is dead, and I don't know. You said it. It's one of y'all. One of y'all was on here saying that. This gotta wind this down.
And never.
So who was it? Was it you, brother? That was brother guy.
I think it was Brandon.
That guy.
So the belt king.
It was the
The
guy.
belt king said, "Man, this is getting old. It's time to move on." It's because we said the story is going to go up, it's going to come down, and god dang it, and shot back up to the goddamn roof. And let me tell you why. So let's just put it in context first. We knew something was going to happen as far as this main event. We were trying to figure out night 1, night 2. We figured, okay, well, whose match goes on what? How do we do this? And all of a sudden, there's a stipulation. The Rock comes out, and he's made it very clear. I'm in charge here. I can do what I want to do. And now I'm challenging you to a different situation. He challenges Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins to a tag team match during night 1 with the stipulation of, if you lose this match, as the TKO board of directors, I have free reign to do whatever I want to do. We get to choose the stipulation of the match. We get to call the shots. We get to create whatever stipulation we want going into night 2 in that main event for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship of the Galaxy. Right. And I was like, wait a minute. We keep watching this situation play out. And I'm like, man, they keep trying to stack the cards higher and higher against Cody. And he doesn't know when to chill out. He just keeps going and keeps going. He got into it with The Rock. The Rock popped him at a freaking media thing.
He jumped out of line.
No, see, there you go again. See, it was in Vegas. He was he went to Vegas. They had the press conference. He slapped him. He called his father out his name, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, and he challenges The Rock to a match. I'm like, Cody, slow down, bro. You got your WrestleMania main event, man. Like, you close to finish the story. What does he do? He get to run his mouth. He's there with one of the biggest ish talkers in the world, and freaking Seth Rollins. That's 2. And now all of a sudden, The Rock comes out and makes this crazy stipulation that really puts this entire thing in jeopardy. We are spinning in our seats right now, trying to figure out, wait a minute, how is this all going to play out? And guess what? We are going to discuss this right now because we touched on it briefly in our group text, but now we got to put this on the forefront. We are going to sit here and discuss what in the world is supposed to happen, what is going to happen, and how does this pan out. But let's take a look real quick at a quick clip of the latest thing to escalate this whole situation, making things worse. We're just under a month away from WrestleMania, and we had to witness this. Brian H., pay close attention because you're going to love this clip. This is my favorite part. There we go. Brandon, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. You ain't put the last time. You put this one.
No, I just saying that's the most recent thing that
You know
happened.
the irony of it is.
What's that, brother? What's the irony?
My sister was doing my hair earlier, so every time she do my hair, it's bloodline catch up time for her.
No,
So,
that's not. That shouldn't be a thing, yo.
Yeah, because she don't watch it week to week, but unless something happened, then she'll like look at the promos. I'll send her something, but so she hadn't seen what's been happening, and so I just showed her the footage. She was like, "He ain't going." Oh, come on. See, because she don't like Roman, but she still like The Rock. She didn't want to see The Rock get smacked.
Like this? You see it? I just want to make sure that was up there, just so you.
Wow. Right in the kisser. Right in the kisser.
The photographers, they know better because
I don't think they caught that one. I searched for a high resolution photo. They didn't catch it. They weren't paying attention to that one.
They know better because they don't want to mess up with their boss.
Yeah, but they caught the first one. You see the Rock's fingers literally touching.
Yeah, Cody because he's the boss.
Right.
Yeah, clearly. I know. Listen, I know that. I was like, okay, yeah. So they're not going to do that. But we have our guest with us. He came to talk some WrestleMania with us, brother D. Talk to your boys. What is going on? I've said this for the 50th time since I've been on the show. Since WrestleMania season has started, I've never seen a WrestleMania book this way, with this type of in-depth connection to one night two. Like at one point they were separate cards and had nothing to do with each other. Yeah. And now we're seeing this elaborate story about to unfold that's going to lead to something crazy, in my opinion, which we're going to dig into. But what do you think about The Rock kind of pulling the strings in? Now Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins got to run this gauntlet on night one just to get to night two. And really, Seth Rollins doesn't really have anything to lose about it, except he's got to watch his back with Drew McIntyre. But what do you think about The Rock placing this stipulation and then Cody and Seth Rollins crazy enough to accept it? What's going on, D?
You know, it's funny. We're all historians up here. It goes back to WrestleMania 1. Way back in the day.
Oh wow!
Cyndi Lauper and all that was going back and forth. Piper, got her. The water cellular score, as Brian just mentioned, was huge. And then the press conference was kind of like the water cellular score, but, The Rock turned that night, pinch smacked Cody, Will Smithed him. The promos went back and forth. Roman.
Man, he just like being controversial. He said he Will Smithed him. Wow. He just.
Oh, yeah, he did. Ain't no doubt about it. But unlike Chris Rock, Cody Rhodes got his payback after he was called the bastard. Right on national television. He was called a straight bastard by The Rock. Right in front of national television. He got his payback. Roman just smoking Seth Rollins in the promos is just like etherism, man. He called it man cross-dresser. Called it man, said that man wearing his wife's clothes. I mean, it's just hilarious, man. I mean, Seth Rollins started getting clowned around.
Seth Rollins told him, look, man, your time is up. It's not your time anymore. That wasn't a good dig?
Nah, that wasn't good enough, man. That wasn't good. Not against them two, man. Yeah, but he haven't said nothing about Roman except, he don't work like that. Okay, man. Shoot. Wouldn't we all want to get paid more to do less? I mean, shoot. I don't blame Roman for that. I commend him.
Right.
I commend him. Yes, indeed. But it's unbelievable, man. They're really going back to WrestleMania 1. They kind of take it from that. We had the great tag team match with Mr. T and Hogan and Mr. Wonderful Piper.
Wow, you had consideration though. Did Jimmy Superfly was involved?
Jimmy Superfly was involved. Cowboy Bob Orton. What's funny with the Hall of Fame too? I didn't know Muhammad Ali wasn't in the WWE Hall of Fame. I really didn't know.
No,
I thought he was in.
Earlier.
I just thought he was in.
Yeah.
But man, Triple H is cooking. You want to talk about Booker of the Year right now? You talk about cooking. You smell what the H is cooking. He is, man. He's doing amazing. And it's not just the main event picture. I know we're going to talk about some other stuff too, but Gunther's doing this thing. And LA Knight and AJ. People saying LA Knight can't wrestle. Well, he's about to show y'all what he can do.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, because AJ Styles has yet to have a solid WrestleMania match. So I don't know about that.
He's going to want to tear it up. He's going to want to tear it up, man.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens has nothing to do for WrestleMania.
That we know of.
That we know of yet. That's crazy. Bianca Belair hasn't had a match set for her yet. You know, and I agree, she will.
It's Tiffy
you know,
time.
not Nia Jax. You know, the Rod's cousin. She been doing her thing. You know, I hope she flattened Becky Lynch on Raw Monday night. I hope she flatten that pancake woman. I mean, the man, whatever she want to call herself. Flatten her.
Wow.
Flatten her right there.
You disrespect.
Hey man, I could call her something else, but you know, we are. Well, it's almost midnight. I might get away with it, but we are a PG show. As kids watching. Your daughter's watching, Brian. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But I love it, man. It's been everything.
I'll be watching. You might be asleep.
Oh, man. True that.
But Chris is telling my son just pop up in the stream in the comments.
Yo, that'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious, man. But it's been must see TV. Like I had folks literally text me saying, "The Rock, oh, we gotta watch again. The Rock is doing this, yeah." Yeah, man, it is fun, man. I mean, people. He's a needle mover. No pun intended, Roman. But he's a needle mover.
No,
that's all I got to say about it, man. It's been fun. It's fun to watch.
He definitely is a needle mover, and no, those are excellent comments.
Pro wrestling is cool again.
It's there, man. I'm telling you. What about you, the guy?
No. One last thing though, them promos on Instagram and Twitter has been outstanding from The Rock. I mean,
we saw it inspired you.
Yeah, we are clearly because he obviously had to do his own version of the promo. But what about you, brother guy? Where is this going? We've never seen this before. What is about to happen? What kind of ride is The Rock and the WWE and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and all these other players and Roman Reigns about to take us on for WrestleMania 40? You're muted.
The biggest WrestleMania ever.
Here we go.
I'm trying not to dive into it because remember how much speculation we had in the text message? It made my brain hurt.
Oh no, we're going there. I'm just getting everybody's formal opinions first, and then we're gonna put Booker hats on. So that's how we closing the show. So
I'm
be conservative if you want to.
I just hope that we're not oversaturating at the fact of losing the luster that we were looking for.
Come on, man. You're using these big words. What do you mean oversaturate and losing the luster? What are you referring to?
So think about the chaos of the Attitude Era, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one episode where Stone Cold came down and he just was stunning everybody, right? That was
cool. Which I still think to this day is quite hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, or like Undertaker will come out and he just randomly choke slamming, or Kane come out just randomly start choke slamming people, or like I'm hijacking the show because I want, that stuff is cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
For those type of periods. But it seems like I feel like now Seth's title match is now on the back burner because we have this tag match. The Intercontinental title is now going to be on the back burner because we have this. The tag team match feel like it was thrown together like, oh, by the way, we got a tag team match. We got a whole Bianca Belair that doesn't have an opponent. We got all this stuff that we want to see, and it's like, so we just not going to, well, who's Logan Paul fighting? We're going to have a whole prime bottle in the ring. What spectacular viral thing is he going to do now for this prime bottle? He's going to parachute down from...
he's wrestling Randy Orton.
Exactly.
Or is he Kevin Owens? Because is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going to have a moment at Mania that they both have titles?
That's also a possibility.
But I'm just saying, like, we got all of this stuff, and as good as it is, I mean, truth be told, and Hugh said it, The Rock is corny, right? It's the corny that we enjoy, but it's getting to the point it's kind of stale. We know what is. I'm going to give you a spoiler for Friday. This is his promo. Hey, I'm in this town.
He's going to be home.
Insert local home team jazz.
He said he's coming home, though. Remember, they're in Memphis. He grew up in Memphis. Like, he spent his teenage years in Memphis. He said, I'm coming home, Memphis. I was like, uh-oh.
He's going to talk, insert local insult.
Okay.
Look at my shirt.
I think a concert's coming. That's right.
But it's just, I feel like now, and Hugh says a lot, we have to hear Cody Rhodes' music every show, and every since he said it, I feel like they got to find a reason to play his music.
That's exactly what's going on. The music that's not going on. You're lying to yourself. Just put him on SmackDown for the next couple of weeks. We almost there. Just let him just.
We got to make as much money as possible.
Him and The Rock.
Because The Rock that's what I mean by oversaturated.
The Rock gets cheered, and he's supposed to be a bad guy. Like people go crazy. Like The Rock is not a heel for his entrance, but then as soon as he gets in the ring, then he's like, "Okay, I'm a bad guy again."
Hold on, before we go on, that entrance,
yes.
Oh my gosh, did you see that, bro?
Fire!
Yo,
Fire!
with the freaking lightning like that. I said, "Come on, bro." Everybody went nuts, and The Rock keep going like this. He keep going. And you see those giant arms with those giant goosebumps. I'm like, yo, he really. Did you see SmackDown real quick?
That comic book reference.
I don't.
I feel like he just yelled Shazam.
I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to lose your spot. I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to lose your spot. I want you to keep going.
I'll explain it to you later, Hugh. The black
when I was watching, both Roman and Rock were like trying hard not to smile because like they were like, "Oh, this is really cool," and you could tell they both had their like, "Oh, this is hot." Like, hold on, strip picture.
Bobby Lashley backstage like, "Hey, that was supposed to be my spotlight. Look."
No, Bobby Lashley, you don't need it. Go back with the street
No. You don't need that. Go back. You don't need that.
Because remember, Bobby had the light standing there on the thing, looking like a chess piece or like a trophy, a chisel piece, but.
That's and to your comment, Brandon. That's a different presentation because think about it, Kevin does not charge anymore. We've never seen like them take advantage of something like a full blown HD stage. So they literally backed it all the way up. And this is production stuff. Brian H. Tap in. And you saw like I knew something was up with the entrance because I'm like, why are they showing the whole screen for once the way they were showing it? And then you saw the light. I said, bro, it looks like a freaking movie set.
And it got dark. And I was like, why is it dark?
Bro, it's like it's not just wrestling anymore. Like they're really like it's like they're merging like the cinematic stuff they did on a pandemic and like trying to make that as live as possible. Like it's interactive almost. You know what I mean?
Give you the experience.
Like even some of the camera angles of them coming out from behind. I said, bro, you look like this is like virtual reality. So think about it. They got all these VR sets now. It's like imagine you look like you're coming from behind and you get to see the ring from an angle you didn't see it. So I'm at home, like I feel like I'm walking out, and I'm like, bro, what is going on? But go ahead and continue with this this whole situation that we have where The Rock is made this enormous challenge to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And guess what? Now Cody Rhodes' whole story depends on whether he survives night one just to make it to night two. Even if he wins the match, the damage is going to already be done. Right? What are we seeing from The Rock, from the bloodline? Because I think this story, at one point, I thought this story was going to be capped off. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's all these factors that make me think that this story is just beginning. Like the next chapter of the bloodline is like about to happen after you guys said it was going to be dead. Brother Hugh, listen. Brandon's going to crack. No, he's going to crack because I'm looking at the time and I've got 30 minutes. I'm going to make it happen. We got about. I'm telling you, he's going to crack. Brother Hugh, what's your 2 cents?
What I want. I'm in control here, and you're going to give me what I want. You know what it is. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You're going to give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
It had to be Dylan. It had to be Dylan.
You see, I've been trying to keep him busy all night. The second I break away from the comments, this is what happened.
It had to be Dylan. I know it was Dylan.
It's always Dylan.
It's always
Dylan.
It's never not Dylan. That's what you need to say.
Oh, bad Dylan. I knew something was cooking up, and I was like, nope. See, this is what it is. He's not.
Oh man,
Brother Hugh, you've never seen. You've seen a lot of wrestling in your lifetime, sir. Don't pretend like you've seen anything close to this outside of a movie. What is going on? Is Cody Rhodes biting off more than he can chew? Is The Rock doing too much? Why do we have? First of all, why are your top stars in 2 matches in WrestleMania? Like you got to get through one match to get to the next match, and I'm like, there's so much of these other things that play into effect, and I'm gonna get into it once we finish. Get everybody's opinion about it.
Well, it's because it's 2 nights. First of all, that's why you have your superstars on both nights.
Since when? Since when, Brother Hugh? Since when?
Since now. Since WrestleMania became 2 nights. What you mean? Since you put these butts in the seat. Since you have Mr. The president, Cody Rhodes running for president.
Because think about it. Him there. To that point, Brother Hugh, what you just said, we don't know the rest of the card for WrestleMania, and yet I think it's like dang near sold out. So
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. But he's biting off more than he can chew. I'm team bloodline all day. The
you
Rock,
too.
like he said, yeah, I've been there.
You're a quiet.
I've
You're a
been throwing
quiet
up the
fan, yo.
ones.
I don't remember you throwing up the ones as much as Brian.
I've
Maybe he
always
just
been
does it
throwing up the
so
ones.
often.
No,
Wow.
what happens
Yeah.
is when they come to the ring, he'll be sitting there and the music get him. He's like, I got to do it. And that's what he does. When the
I
music
just feel like
hits.
Michael Jackson saying, "I gotta do it."
Because when the Usos came out that one time, it was either Raw or SmackDown. I looked over and he was like, I got it. This thing is rocking. Yeah.
I looked over at him like, I gotta do it. No. I looked at him like, what are you doing? I got to. I gotta do it.
That's exactly how it was.
I was like, this is happening. He was like, yeah.
Even the Lakers did it the other night, playing Roman's music during the game, man. Even the Lakers
He
did.
really did, though. I was like, no, not the Lakers.
O'Shea Jackson probably had something to do with that.
Probably.
Yeah, I can see that.
But Barnage, this is ridiculous. This is unreal. I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again because we're gonna unpack this before it's time to go. We have a little bit of time left. I'm telling you, we're going to unpack this, and it's going to be to be continued. We have never seen storylines start involving night one to get to night two. To me, and you could attest because it's your favorite wrestler too. The closest we've got to something similar like this was when Daniel Bryan, the Yes Movement, they had to change the main event, right? Where like, you know, that like to me, that's the closest we ever got. And that's because the fans forced the hand of the creatives. Why is The Rock doing this? He has created this. I wanted Cody Rhodes to win so bad last year. Brother Brandon saw me on live and I immediately cut it off. I thought he was going to crack. And I was like, I would have been completely satisfied with that being the finishing of the story. And I said to myself, this is exactly why I'm a fan, and I was so glad to be wrong. It's because the layers that have evolved from that match to now.
No, what you said was they got me.
They definitely got me. They had me convinced that I'm like, oh, they got to do it now. And then it didn't happen. And then Cody Rhodes comes back and goes, well, listen, if all my friends didn't do it, how disrespectful would it be of me? I'm like, also, you come in with this business respect stuff. And it worked because it didn't bury everybody else, because it sent the message that even Cody's not going to go away and just come back. Oh, you're going to go back and dominate AEW or create a company and be successful and then come back and win. Like, nah, like we're gonna, it helps, but we're gonna do this the right way. And god dang it, they've done it the right. But this is too goddamn much, bro. Brian H. Like, what is going on? What is your boy doing? Since you always think you're the bloodline anyway. Like I said, Rikishi called you nephew Solo Halef whatever a couple years
Uncle
ago.
Keish.
And
Uncle Keish.
And ever since, like, you really been believing you been. So like, y'all know I have the same moon and Lance. You've been name dropping for a minute. I was like, yeah, you know, I can attest because I was there. I remember these things. They showed us a lot of love, like real talk, like on some like, dang, I didn't realize they was that you know, down there. But you really feel like you're in the blood of ever since. Well, how do you like? Come on, help me make sense of this.
What, 2 nights?
Yeah, there's never been a situation where The Rock, first of all, The Rock is usually in a program by himself, because the original plan back in the day, The Rock vs. Triple H, we would have been okay with that. That's a good old-fashioned wrestling main event where we all, two Attitude Era Titans come back because they still got it, and they're going to show the Young Gun how it's done. Right, we saw that. Undertaker and Triple H made everybody in the card look bad, and Undertaker and Shawn Michaels making everybody look bad. Like, now follow that. We got straightforward, classic wrestling match events. Now, The Rock is back. He's added like a different layer to the bloodline. The brother Brandon was like, the bloodline's done. This is time to wrap this up. He gave it new life. First of all, The Rock is on his own. He comes out to his own entrance. They come out and then he comes out. They're megastars. And now he's bragging about, I am on the board of directors, means I'm in charge around here. I'm your boss. I am going to make every stipulation. I'm going to get rid of your title, because don't forget he didn't say that. He said, I'm getting rid of your title. And I'm going to make this the only title that matters. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you don't walk out of here with this championship. That's night one. Are you kidding me? Just to make it to night two? What is going on with professional wrestling, Mr. Wrestling Guy?
Here's the thing. Let's break this down.
He always thought like that.
When you look at all right, so since WrestleMania 36, WrestleMania 36 was 2 nights because of a pandemic. Like, look, let's just make it 2 nights, give people 2 things to watch, right?
Then all the fans got a chance to spread out and hold to the guidelines. Yeah,
especially because if I'm not mistaken, we hadn't got the Jordan DVDs yet, so So we didn't have nothing to look forward to.
The Last Dance documentary. Yep.
Yeah. So there's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then before, even though, I would say after 32, that's when it started feeling like, yo, this is a whole work shift. But this level of star power, as far as mega stardom, this is the greatest gap as far as your main eventer into your secondary main event, right? If I told you last year, all right, you can go to night one and you can only get one ticket. You can make an argument. Oh, I'm gonna go to night one because I really want to see Rhea Charlotte and I really want to see Sami Zayn and KO versus the Usos. I'll sacrifice not being able to see Roman and Cody. Oh, also I'm gonna get John Cena on night one. You feel me? The year before that, you might sacrifice. Like, I'll go to night one because of Stone Cold, but Stone Cold isn't what The Rock is at this point because we wasn't expecting a program. We just wanted, Kevin Owens called him out. We just wanted that nostalgic moment. Boom, night two, we get that surprise. So now it's like trying to sell both tickets. And when you're trying to sell both tickets, you're going to hit us with The Rock on both shows and make it where you don't want to have to make a decision because you want to see both shows. You want to see, all right. But then at the same time, if you are somebody who's been waiting for The Rock and you can only make one, you won't feel cheated. And I think as far as the storyline, it's just also a way to keep Seth Rollins, who deserves to be on top, deserves to be in a main event program, considering the way he's carried the company. It's like Rollins really deserves this. So, from that aspect, that's why it makes sense to like have them all involved. But you people complain about Roman's work schedule. Well, guess what? He's working 2 nights. But it really comes down to thinking about from a business standpoint, thinking about how can we fill both nights? How can we fill the arena with both nights, but also satisfy the fans? Where if you can only make one, you'll still be able to see the 4 greatest, the 4 top stars.
Bro, be able to hear Cody Rhodes' theme music.
You're gonna hear it twice. You're here both nights.
Yeah. Like that's how you know when your music is over. When they so let me ask you this, brother Brandon, because brother, he has a speculation. He always says that if you hear if the band is there and you get a live version of the theme, and if the relatives are sitting at a certain place, that's how you know it's going down that night.
Yeah.
Like this is his theory. We're gonna stick to it. So I'm like, okay, so if night one we don't see it, but then night 2 we see it. What are we thinking?
When Cody walks down and kisses Liberty, and she's ringside with Brandy, he's finishing the story. If we don't see any camera shots of Liberty or Brandy, Triple H could be sprinkling the dust. But I'm telling you now, if Downstate is not there, he ain't finishing the story.
You know what? You guys are so lucky that the time is the time. It's because I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask you guys to book this main event and tell me this is how is it going to start? How is it going to end? But you know what? We're going to save that.
But real quick though.
No. Dwayne, you book it. Let's hear yours.
But listen, real quick, we'll be here for another 3.5 hours. What do you say, Brian H?
I can see Petty H telling Cody, I've had my band there all the time and I still lose. You think about WrestleMania 17.
But he won a lot.
Triple H got the worst WrestleMania record.
No, period.
He talking about just in general though. Like he was, God dang it, he was the boss's son.
And Cody only lost 2. He's only been pinned by 2 people since being back, Roman and Drew. So I mean, he better not finish that goddamn story. He gonna finish that goddamn story.
First of all, you know he's gonna finish. You know he's gonna finish the story, but it's really gonna come down to about how he has to finish. DMVD says he has to finish it.
He can wait. Cody can wait.
No. Because guess what?
If Cody can wait, but the fans can't. They're gonna
there
start.
You go. But I waited all last year.
Let me throw something in there too. It hurts the Royal Rumble if he loses to the same person twice.
No, it don't.
I don't know,
I think that
man.
hurts the going to get the Royal Rumble.
D might got a. I don't
He
see.
got
I
a
don't
point.
know.
I
Because
kind of
like,
feel where he's coming from. Yeah,
because at that point, it's like, well, like then what's the point? Like, why don't you just wait to Elimination Chamber? You know what I
why
mean?
did he
Like,
have to win a Rumble 2 years back to back to lose 2 years back to back?
we consume stuff too fast. I can't do another year. If Cody Rhodes does win this year, at this point, I'm like, I quit. I'm not winning another year. I'm not doing this.
Man,
okay.
He is going to have the ultimate babyface moment. You know the wrestling club, our good friends Victor Perry and his
he bought all
his
them tickets for them to watch him lose.
No, see that's what you're telling yourself right now, brother. It's because you're in denial, buddy. You're in denial. You're in denial right now. It's not going to happen, dude.
My sister looked at me today. She was like, "You think he gonna win?" I said, "Yeah."
The minute he offered to pay for their tickets, I said he's winning. It's no win to run that many for all these students to come, and they're gonna have the wrestling club championship title, and then Cody's gonna sign it. Hopefully, but what if he holds it up? What if he holds it like just there? If he goes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the wrestling club. You know, it's going to go viral. All this media stuff. Listen,
it's gonna be funny. It's a dusty finish.
It's going to be though.
Oh, daddy!
If we had time, I promise you, I was like, fellas, we're going to book this. But I'm looking at the time like, nope, I'm not going to. We're going to save it for the next show. We're going to save it probably for our WrestleMania preview show. We're going to book this.
Continued.
Listen to me, D. We started to book this in the text message, and it got out of hand. And I was
It
like,
went left so far.
and you know what the crazy part is? When I got out of the message, D, I thought about 5 other new things. I was like, wait a minute, it can go this way, it can go that way. I was like, oh no. I was like, no,
this is what I think is gonna happen. The Rock and Roman's gonna win night 1. They're gonna pin Cody, and then night 2, Cody gonna catch the beat down. He might catch it night 1 too, but he gonna definitely catch a beat down. Everybody, they're gonna take it to him. They're gonna beat him down. All of a sudden, he gonna get some help in night 2. That's what I think. He gonna get some help.
That was what we all said.
Babyface is gonna help him.
I think you said go ahead, D, go ahead, finish. I'm gonna let you because you probably
they're gonna come out
on the road next week. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then finally the Rock, something happens, he end up being the final straw and turn on Roman, and then we get WrestleMania 41. Hopefully he's in Vegas. They talking about Minnesota. No, we need WrestleMania 41 in Vegas.
Yeah, we need it in Vegas.
Oh crap. Once again,
want wrestlers lose in Vegas.
That might not be a good recipe, but I do know
cocaine off of what did Reverend say he was doing?
Now the only thing I'm worried about with Cody is the story might be finished. What do we do next after the story's finished? This is where Drew McIntyre comes in.
He got to go on his world tour. He got to shake all the hands.
He's got to go on his Lex Express tour, man.
Yep. Oh God, not the Lex Express.
He's going to spend the next year beating.
Because I'm gonna give you all a prediction right now that Damon Priest cash in that Money in the Bank at WrestleMania
on Seth
Rollins.
See, here's the thing about that. I don't know. I'm not fooling with Triple H. It's because he's been teasing the stuff with Gunta lately.
Yeah.
Like how much more of a babyface would Sami Zayn be if he conquers the most insurmountable odds that day because Damian Priest and beats him? You talk about Mick Foley numbers. Oh my gosh,
Damian
you talk about he's got the because he's remember he kind of teased it the other day. He was like
drop those belts.
He got mad and was like, "Yeah, they're gonna."
That's what I meant to say. We're not putting 4 belts on that thing for them to pull down, and they're not gonna put one red and one blue. That's when they're gonna reveal the new belts.
Oh yeah.
So you think they're gonna unify them?
Because they're calling it. Look at the match. They're saying it's for the unified tag team championships. So I'm pretty sure that's when they're gonna reveal the new belts.
Okay, see that's it. Okay, that
Either
might be a thing too.
Either that or that's how you split them.
4 belts around.
That's what I said. I think that's how you split them. That's
how you split them. 2 teams grab one, or grab one team, one person.
Oh, one person.
Yeah, one team grab
one blue, one.
I can see that. I can see that.
And then they got like storyline purposes. Like, well, we got to figure this out. You know what I mean? Because the only reason I agree with you, brother, that is because they're putting so much emphasis on the brand split competition, right? You got Nick Aldis and you got Adam Pearce, and it's like they're really like they're their own.
Belts. Thanks, guys.
Right. Brother
I
Brandon,
wanted
just
the
be
new
patient.
belts.
You know you're
I
getting new
wanted the
belts.
belts. But yeah, you know you will.
You know you're
That's right.
getting new belts.
You'll be okay.
You like them new belts, baby.
You know he's getting new belts. But to your point, D, I think Brother Brandon, the guy, was like he expects The Rock to turn on Roman. And at one point, like it looked like that was the direction it was going. But I said, but what if he doesn't though? I was like,
Roman
Yeah,
turns on him.
I wouldn't mind them dragging it out. I wouldn't mind it at all.
well,
Honestly,
Roman
I-
turns on him.
so
I just
so
don't
when
think
we,
nothing gonna be predictable. I think
it's
anything.
not though. Like they're
Yeah.
doing this on purpose, bro.
You always have a plan B.
But like the Brandon just said, you can see Roman turning on him first.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what I see. I see a double turn.
Okay.
I see, and trust me, as a guy that got duped over these championship belts, I know about double turns. Thanks a lot, championship culture guys. Like we were talking in the group chat, and we're going to break this down at some point. No pun intended, Brian. It's just not tonight because we about to wrap up. And I was like, well, what if Seth Rollins does a double turn? Like, what if Seth Rollins turns on Cody Rhodes?
Yeah,
but then
that can happen too.
But then on night 2, when it's like, because I think there's going to be a bloodline invasion. I think we're going to see a bunch of people. And like I said, Lance spilled the beans because he said it that what they were trying to do that before. That's one.
Yeah.
2, Tama Tonga signed with WWE. Jacob Fatu all of a sudden is a free agent. Zilla went back to go working with Booker T at Ring of Honor. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, yo, you seem like a little, I don't know. And then not to mention, like I said, all the other ones that are working contractual independent stuff, they cleared up those things because Rikishi's talking about free agents all of a sudden. Like, hire my guys, we're all free agents. And I'm like, why is that going on? And then The Rock is saying stuff like, you can say what you want about us, but don't forget, we are a big family. I'm like, what are you saying, Rock? Like, I think there's going to be,
and not to mention putting up the tree. They put up the tree.
Yeah,
a lot of folks is on that tree.
They showed that. Come on, there's no way in the world you showed that beautiful graphic for no reason. That's the first time we've seen it in detail. We've heard
people got
documentaries
pictures of it and everything.
That's
They
what I'm
connected
saying.
the dots.
So like, and they put up a lot of guys that were not in WWE. Like, I was like, wait a minute, they put up spouses and everything, and I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And then you have stuff like Drew McIntyre still beef with the Bloodline. I think it was social media, like, bro, you need to watch. The Rock said something to Drew McIntyre. Hey, watch what you say about my family. There's a lot of us. Don't forget that. So I'm like, what if Seth Rollins turns on? This is just a scenario because we're going to book this. I'm telling you, we're going to book. If we spend the entire hour, whatever time we take booking this main event, it's going to happen. I was like, what if Seth Rollins turns on Cody Rhodes? Like, bro, I didn't forget nothing. Like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, he goes back to being the top heel of the company. And then you have Drew McIntyre coming out to save Cody because he's like, look, yeah, I'm beefing with Seth Rollins right now, but my issue is still with the Bloodline. So think about it. When Cody needs his army of people, everybody that the Bloodline's that's ever cost them championships, they come out to his aid. So say the Bloodline, like one of my scenarios was, say the Bloodline brings out 7 extra bodies, 7 extra Bloodline members, relatives, whatever. Cody, and all of a sudden you see Sami Zayn coming to the ring, Kevin Owens coming to the ring, LA Knight coming to the ring, Jey Uso coming to the ring.
Randy
that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in seeing what Jay's going to do, though.
This is the storytelling because now it's conflicting because now something's going to be off about the situation, right? Because Jimmy and Jay have a match as well, right? And then you see Brock Lesnar return. He comes to the ring, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden Drew McIntyre comes to the ring, and they're all on Cody's side, not because of but they did take out the Bloodline because everybody's got screwed over by this family. It's going to be one big melee until like they're going to hold off that extra army while The Rock and Seth Rollins kind of get into the mix of this. And I'm like, at some point, I think The Rock is going to be bested. My fantasy booking was, The Rock's like, well, screw it. The family's occupied. It's a war outside right now. Cody All-Stars versus the Bloodline. And then all of a sudden, like I said, so I fantasy booked Austin's music hitting. Like, who else could deal with The Rock at this point? Like, come on. Austin's music hitting. He distracts him. They go at it. They just kind of have their little scuffle outside that one. Don't listen to me. You see that match that Stone Cold put on 2 years ago? Stone Cold showed off with Kevin Owens.
And The Rock will sell for him.
Yeah, of course. They know each other, like they back each other's ass.
Let's not forget one more person too that Solo took out, John Cena. Don't forget him also.
Think about it, John. Think about it, John Cena.
They won't call me. My phone ain't ring. I'm free.
No, that's I forgot about.
He's part of it.
So think about it. I just gave you a whole list of all-stars for this epic melee. It's almost like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes in the middle of a ring of fire and all the stuff going on around them. All this stuff just to finally get it one-on-one.
Did he say fire?
Yes.
Like a ring of fire.
He did.
Like this tribal style.
Well, it burns.
You know what I mean?
The
And I'm
ring
like,
of fire.
but then, like I said, there's so many other scenarios. There's so many other situations. The Rock could turn on somebody. And like I said, I could see The Rock turning on Roman, and then once again taking the bloodline story into the next year. And then you have Rock versus Roman for 41. This is insane. We're gonna figure it out next week. We're gonna break it down. No
Can I
pun
say one
intended,
thing
Brian
about
H.
the entrance? I really
to
just want the whole Samoan family
It's gotta be.
dynasty
It's
on the
gotta
ramp
be.
bowing to Roman.
Doing some type of tribal. Remember Samoa Joe? I know you know this, brother Brad. Remember Samoa Joe did it a couple years ago at what was it? What's TNA pay-per-view?
When he had the war paint on his face.
Yeah, like
he
he
came
was
out with him.
he
It
came
wasn't
out
Hard
and
to Kill. What was it? Was it Slammiversary?
it was Slammiversary.
Was it Slammiversary?
I believe it was Slammiversary.
Dylan on fact check us. I think it was.
They came out there, they did tradition because you know Samoa Joe was part of a Samoan dance troop thing. So he came out there and he did his little stuff with the, and I was like, dude, that was pretty cool because it was very cultural, but it seemed like his entrance was a big deal. I expect to see some type of cultural something because I remember Tamina was talking about remember the behind the scenes stuff when they had delays and she was like, this is so important to our culture and to our family. And it was, I think it was the match between Jey Uso and Roman, but they did that whole behind the scenes thing and she was like, her and Nia Jackson, The Rock's mom, they were in the Usos. They were taking everybody through like this is what this one means, and they even pulled out the tribal chief lay. You know, then when Alpha Seeker literally put it on, I was like, oh, this is some real stuff. This ain't no. This is real. And she was so into it. She was like, this is so important to our culture, and these things mean that much. I expect to see all that stuff incorporated in Philadelphia. My head hurts. I don't have time for this. We will definitely get into this in our WrestleMania preview show. We're going to book this main event, so you guys do whatever you got to do. Drink whatever tea, whatever because you're gonna have headaches by the time we're done. And I'm almost sure we're not gonna come to a conclusion. And I can't wait till it actually happens, so we can all sit there and look at each other like, what in the world just happened? But until then, here's what I want everybody else to do. I want y'all to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Wrestling Wrealm. Subscribe to our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube. Our YouTube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm channel. You can also catch Championship Culture on YouTube.com, same channel. YouTube.com/The Wrestling Wrealm Championship Culture playlist. Good gosh. Season 2 available. Catch up on what you didn't see and catch up on season 1. Brother D, DMVD, Demar's Dot. Tell the people where they can find you. What you got coming up next, man? Where can they follow you to keep up with everything you got going on?
So on the Dime Sport Network right now on the YouTube, we got over 3,000 subscribers strong. We've been rolling with this high school basketball all year. Appreciate it, man. And so we got the MPSSAA state finals. That's why I'm on location. Here, so I'm going to chill Thursday, then get back Friday at it. Editing the stuff out from the last 2 days. You'll be seeing that coming up tomorrow. And all I can tell you, man, is bigger, better things coming. AAU coming. Lacrosse coming, little baseball. You know, the people don't watch baseball like that no more. Unfortunately,
don't disrespect baseball.
I'm just saying that that's what the people tell me. It hurts my heart. But we're gonna keep trucking along, man. Dime Sport Network on Threads, the Twitter, as well as Dime Sporting Net. Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
The Twitter. That's what I was looking forward to. I only answered it just so you can say it.
Right.
I was like, I'm only going to ask because I want to say the Twitter. But we thank you for definitely joining us, good brother. We're glad you had a chance to come and just talk a little WrestleMania with us, man. I know you're a busy man. Like I said, you're on the road right now, man. So we definitely appreciate your time joining the good brothers, man. While we just sit back and enjoy ourselves. Like I said, this is WrestleMania season, man. We're having a good time with this. But shout out to everybody
we haven't even scratched the surface of Mania, man. That's the thing. That's the thing. We're just talking about the main event.
I'm like, bro,
so much going on. What Bailey's doing is amazing right now, you know.
She once again, she's another individual that's had such a great comeback story that they didn't rush. Like,
they didn't at all.
If you look at from the way she returned to where she's now, it's like, bro, I am really finding a new appreciation for Triple H's vision of this version of long storytelling, long form storytelling in the WWE. It's something we saw every once in a while with 1 or 2 storylines, but this seems like it's working, and I think that WrestleMania will be the payoff, right? Yeah. Like you look at when most wrestling promotions rush their stars, and I think that's like, oh, he's hot, give him the belt, and it's like, no, he's hot. Let's give him a reason to become even hotter. You know what I mean? Let's get the people behind it. Let's get them so clamoring for it. So by the time they do win or overcome or get to that space where you know, we're head over heels with the results. But man, we have so much more to get into.
Just look at Cody, man. I mean, the way Cody's been, you know, the people literally was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what is going on here?" We want Cody, man. Unbelievable.
I was upset last year, but like when you look at it now, I was like, man, I would be disappointed if this didn't happen. And even with the bloodline, I thought the bloodline storyline was finished. Don't get excited, Brad H. And the way that it continued, I was like, oh man, it got all these wrinkles, and it looks like there's probably another wrinkle to all this stuff, especially if they start to infuse. Well, the bloodline continues with all new faces. You know what I mean?
Remember, Paul Heyman said we was in the third inning. Paul Heyman said that we was in the third.
He said
inning.
that a year ago. How long
he might have been, you know, Marvin's a liar.
SummerSlam, bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third. Bottom of the third. I was like, oh, stop lying, Paul. You're a liar. You're a liar. Bottom of the third. We haven't even scratched. And I'm like, if he's telling the truth, I'm like, oh crap, Paul Heyman was telling the truth. They might just be getting started with all this thing.
That is true. Yeah.
Like, what if the bloodline is like Bullet Club? They're just going to keep, you know, they got relatives at the wazoo. Just keep developing them and just keep putting them in the mix.
Roman Reigns got 2 sets of twins.
Yeah, he does. But there's a set of twins that they have in their family that are wrestlers. That Rikishi broke into the business. I was
Rikishi
like,
got more kids, right?
No, it's just he has the one other son that is that didn't get into the business. He's not wrestling, but he's got a ton of nieces and nephews though.
Okay. Yeah, the one that was on Santa Claus, the Miss Santa Claus, that's the one that didn't wrestle.
Like we see his picture a lot.
Everybody
I'm telling you,
Jay.
every other week, he's like, "Oh, my nephew so and so fight too, just get into the business." I said, "Where did he keep coming from?"
Right, where y'all growing these family members?
Just keep popping up,
bro.
Yeah.
Women
Nina is the mother,
men and women. I was like, "Yo, there's too many of them. They just keep multiplying." But yeah, we listen. We will be back next week. Who knows what the heck we're gonna be talking about? Like I said, man, this is WrestleMania season. Brian H watches every WrestleManias this year, man. Brother Brandon keeps buying belts. Brother Hugh keeps making Brother Brandon buy belts so they can talk about it.
Yes,
it's insane.
Why though?
Why? Everybody has a story.
Every goddamn belt has a story.
Everybody has a story.
One more time.
Everybody has a story.
That was smooth. You guys did it in unison. Ladies and gentlemen, join us next week. Please come back. You can find the same bat time, same bat place. We got to get out of here because I got to make fun of Deeks and stuff off the air. When you Friday, especially when you brought up him dating, I was about to say I caught D a couple of times, and he ain't thinking about it. It's all good. We out. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes!